Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. Guess who just got back today? This wild eyed boy that's been away. Hadn't changed, but has a lot to say. Yeah, that cat's crazy. Hi, Taffy. First one into the chat. LaPrue. Hello, Roy. Well, this is kind of, let's see. How do we put this? Impromptu. The plan was I was going to be on Lori Arnold's channel, and she was going to interview me, and technical difficulties did not allow that to happen. So I'm on here, and she's going to come on here and interview me. Actually, I've only been interviewed one other time since I started doing this 3 years ago online. And I've been interviewed a bunch in other capacities. But as far as being interviewed as an online host, it's only happened one other time. And it, oddly enough, it was about 2.5 years ago, and it ended up the same situation. We couldn't get it worked out, and we had to end up recording it on my channel privately and then sending it to his channel. It was a major hassle. So, Cam, how are you? Hello, Uno. There's Lori. Okay. Let's see if we can get this working this way. And we will drop the link for Lori Arnold. And hopefully we'll get her up here and she can ask me the questions that she wanted to ask. And we'll have some fun. In the meantime, what's going on? What's happening? What's been up? Thank you, Cam. Glad to be here. Let's see how this works. Hold on. I got her little tiny and me great big. There we go. Is this Lori Arnold?
It's me, but why? I don't think it likes me.
What's the deal with your camera? Every time you come on here, well, we've at least got audio, you know.
I know, but it bugs me to have it on there, damn it. It looks like it just goes black.
Yeah, that's what we're getting, just black.
And now you know why we had trouble ordering burgers.
This is just this isn't like open mic or anything. I'm sorry, but this is just for Lori Arnold as far as let me see.
Videos. Okay, let me look at my video.
Oh,
let me change it.
Yeah, see if we can get you. I don't want to show that. Okay. Let's get some video and get rolling here.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. I don't know why it doesn't want to show. Damn thing doesn't like unicorns.
That's not true at all. You looked great on your feed on your channel.
Yours doesn't like me. Well, okay, Doofus, I do have so many questions though, but they're not like in a big long list or nothing. You first came on my radar when 76 and the protesting, and I don't remember what channel who you had up or whatever, but that's how I met you on you through all this, and you caught my interest because of at first course that I wanted to maybe talk to in your chat or what, but I started listening to, and you kind of caught my interest, and then we met, and I was hooked. I'm a doofy. I'm a doofy.
You're a doofy. Yay.
A doofy.
Yay.
How did you get into live streaming?
Okay. I've got a background in a lot of different things. And one of the things that, when music has always been incredibly important to me. I've always had
Mhm.
a hand in music one way or the other, whether it be disc jockeying, playing music, writing music, whatever. Um, Music doesn't pay well for 99% of the people that are into music. Um,
Right.
so you generally have to do a lot of other things, and which I did. And one of the things was we ran a video. I was a co-owner of a video production company, and we did video yearbooks. So another thing I've done for money, I've been a professional photographer. Um, I was on the radio. I was a politician, so I'm comfortable talking. Um, the pandemic happened, and I well, okay. Let me back up to 2016. Uh, 2016 was the last time I actually made a serious run at Congress, and it's because Bernie Sanders was supposed to be the Democratic nominee, and we had carried that district in the past. Anyway, they came to me and asked me if I'd run again, and that was in 2016. In November 2016, ended up losing the election with Hillary as the Democratic nominee, and Trump
Right.
wins. Okay. Um, my wife at the time says, um, you've just been on the go nonstop. You worked incredibly hard. Um, why don't you take a week and go to Florida and visit your daughter and your grandson and recharge. Uh, so the first week of December in 2016, I went to um, I went to Florida. I spent 2 days at Daytona Beach. Then I went over and spent 3 days in on the other side with my daughter and grandson, and then I came back and spent 3 more days at Daytona Beach by myself. And it was kind of that was kind. It's kind of a spiritual thing for me because my dad and I, our family went to Daytona Beach a lot. And my dad and I went to Daytona Beach a lot uh, to go to the Greyhound, go to the dog races, or to go to the NASCAR races, or to go deep sea fishing. So that's always been a special spot. Well, I spent that week there, and I came back. I got My birthday is December the 10th, and I got back on December the 9th. And when I got back, my wife had filed for divorce, and all the money was gone. And um, I found out I had cancer, all on that
Uh,
day. So from 2016 to the end of 2019, I disappeared. I was kind of a hermit, um, and I just didn't interact. I didn't do anything. Um, I was staying with my older sister, and my sisters and family were like, "Look, you got to get out. You start doing something, and you blah blah blah." And they were right. And I got out and I started working and doing things, and eventually, um, I met Kay, and we weren't together very long, but um, it was like an immediate. We were supposed to be together.
mhm.
So we were together for a couple of months, and the pandemic hits, and we decided if we're going to be locked down, we're going to be locked down together.
Oh,
So
love it.
that's what we did. And a few months into the lockdown, um, she's like, "Look, you're telling me all these things and you know all this stuff and you need to tell more people than just me." And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Oh, you're getting tired of listening to me." And she said, "Well, yeah, that too, but really you need to start telling people this stuff because you got a lot of inside information on a lot of different things that people don't know." And and I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, nobody will listen to me. Why would they listen to me on the internet? There's millions and millions of channels. And she said, "They will listen to you." And I would be talking about something and I'd say something stupid just to see if she was paying attention. because because I ramble. And she would always call
No.
me doofus. Yeah, she'd say, "You doofus," and I said, "That's American doofus to you." And she came back here. Um, she set everything up. She registered the channel. She registered the email. She built a, a merchandise site.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, she had everything ready, and it was like it was like 6 days. She's responsible for all this, and it's like 6 days. I was like, "No, I'm not. Nobody's gonna." And finally, I said, "Okay." She kept going. "Look, everything's all set up back there, and this is going to blow up. And do this." Um, so one day, about 6 days after she did everything, I came back here and sat down, and she was my camera person and director and producer and made sure my hair was right and all that,
Oh,
you know. And we did the
she
first
comb your
episode.
did she comb that beautiful hair for you?
Yeah.
Get it
Yeah,
all
she did.
pretty?
She did. Yeah, it wasn't this long back then.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we did the first show, and uh, the first live stream we did was from Louisville, and
Oh.
so that's an incredibly long answer to how I did live streaming. And live streaming is a young person's endeavor, um, as far
You think
as
so?
as far as protests and
Mm.
being able to run away.
Yeah, but
When you
but don't
know
don't yeah,
w-
but don't you a lot of them now I'm finding out are retired or whatnot, and they still want to get out and do some things. Maybe they can't sleep in their cars, but they and experience life still and
yeah,
just
and
take
and
off.
just so you know, the way that you and Defender Vance and AP and Score, the way all of you people did it, it's not the way it's normally done. Okay. And
No.
actually, yeah, oh yeah. And actually, there's been I mean, just as someone, see, I've been on this path since Kay started this show. I've been on this path, and I'm still on this path, and my path has intersected with a whole lot of things. And you can tell that there aren't a lot of people that are, I mean, there are a lot of people that are passionately, seriously involved with this, and still,
Hmm.
which baffles me, but still. Um, and you can tell that there's not a whole lot of internet experience, um,
What
with
did you
people.
guys? What did you guys first start out? What were your live stream out when
Um,
the
the first
two of you were starting?
the first episode I did was about having respect for the flag. It was called Fun with Flags, and it just pointed out how people were abusing the American flag and didn't know flag code and didn't understand the proper treatment and respect the flag should have and deserve. That was the first episode I did.
Was
Shortly after that,
that off Sheldon? Did you do that off Sheldon?
it was a
Fun with
tribute.
Flags?
It was a tribute. It's a tribute to it's a tribute to Sheldon Cooper, Big Bang Theory, Fun with Flags.
That's
Yeah, I
perfect.
named the first episode "Fun with Flags." And I had Mel on shortly after that, and then um, this was when the George Floyd, the Breonna. This was when all the
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and I made a video. Uh, there was this leader of this black militia. He's still the leader of this black militia. He
Right.
goes by Grandmaster J. And the black militia was the NFAC, the Not Farging Around Coalition.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember hearing about any of that?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, um, I was the only white person online
Uh-huh.
that took him seriously and could see what he was trying to do. And I did a video about that, and it blew the channel up. And we've
Oh,
been here.
and
We've been here ever
did
since.
you get to
So
interview him? Did you
I
get to
ne-
interview him?
I never did. I never got to interview him. We communicated quite a bit, but we always did it through a third party, his attorney normally. I don't know. I don't know if people know about this or even care about it, but and I still have communication with people in that organization. That organization isn't done, but he's been sentenced to prison. Um,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Did you do much coverage then? What did you do? A lot of coverage and stuff, or what did you
Hmm.
and all that?
Um, I I looked at myself. I kind of took on the position of, okay, I'm going to be like the anchor desk, and all these various incredibly talented live streamers across the country are like the war correspondents, and whoever, wherever somebody's at, I take a little bit of the footage and tell the story, and then direct them to their channel to watch the whole thing. And that's what I still do. Only it's morphed into, once the protesting died down, it morphed into other things.
And one of the things I like watching you is that you give the news clips, and I want to say this the right way. When I watch it, side though, we always can see our bias or politics, but really on your channel, you really as much as you can, and I always appreciate that. It's not a big blast on other. You really I feel like you present it to us, and then want us to just think.
Yeah, and that's I say that you're starting to bobble in and out. I'm going to drop you down and then bring you back up and see if we got a better
Okay.
audio connection. Um, yeah, I say a lot. I say a lot on here. Um, I don't want. It's not about telling you what to think or how to think. It's just giving you things to think about and hoping you think. And I really do try to do that. I know at times there's going to be bias come out, and most of the time it's unintended. Sometimes it's intended, and I say, look, this is my opinion. But I do try to give, you know, the good and the bad of both sides, if you will, of all sides. And just, I'm not going to not report on something because it may reflect badly on how I voted the last election cycle. I'm not going to do
I
that,
want.
you know.
I have a question. You hear me now better? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know, my chat
With
stopped.
the
So
oh
This happens to me a lot. Okay, go ahead.
No, well, I'm going to forget my. Okay. So with live streaming and putting yourself out there, though, right now you're getting hit with a lot of people maybe bad mouthing you. Have you experienced that before?
Oh my gosh.
And how do you usually handle these things?
Yes. As I said, I was the channel kind of blew up because I was the only white person that came out in support of this leader of this all black militia. Okay, that
Right.
they had the Second Amendment right to do the exact same thing any white militia had the right to do. You know, that wasn't looked upon kindly by a whole lot of people.
Oh,
Uh,
I bet
the
not.
the black community were like, right on, somebody gets it. A lot of people in the white community were like, this guy's, he's not just a doofus. He's a freaking asshole moron, you know.
Right.
Pardon my French to the Facebook viewers. Sorry. But, yeah, yeah. Oh, I've had all kinds of videos made about me, some talented people, and they put me in drag, dancing with, yeah. Oh, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
There's drag. You would drag out.
yeah, it's not me in drag. It's somebody using their great computer skills, because I didn't have long hair then. But in that video, I've got pigtails. So yeah, I've been attacked. Yeah, and my gosh, in politics, we'd go to parades, and I'd have my little girls with me, and we'd be in parades campaigning, and I'd get called every name in the book, and my daughters didn't understand why, and so yeah, the attack stuffs have been going on a long time, and
That's all. That's all. Just that on social media where we can laugh it off a little. Have you ever had, and if you want to talk about it, ever had anything happen, fear of your life, or been in danger possibly?
since being online
Yeah,
or
since
ever.
being online or being in the public eye like that.
Um, since being online, I really haven't had anything. The closest I've come is there were a couple of people, a couple of guys, one at a time, that kind of stood outside the house on the other side of the street,
Oh
um,
wow.
dressed as Patriot Guard, um, tan
Patriot
boots,
front
or
Patriot
Patriot
Guard?
Front, Patriot,
Yeah,
Patriot, whatever they're called,
front.
front or guard, whatever they are. The tan boots, tan khakis, navy blue polo, navy blue hat, navy blue. One of those things called gaiters. Um,
Yeah.
One stood there one afternoon, and then another one stood there the second afternoon. Um, but that's as close as anything's come as a threat. I I'm starting to get recognized more. I just got recognized today.
Really?
Um, yeah,
Where at?
I um, I left my bank card on the thing at the self scan at Kroger.
Oh
Uh,
no.
And I called up there last night twice, and no, we haven't found it. Well, they found it when they were cleaning up. I called up there this morning, and I said, hello. They said, this is Kroger, and I said, hello. I'm calling to see about my bank card, and the person says, hey Barry, I recognize your voice, and I'm like, okay.
Really?
And I said, "Is my bank card there?" and and she said, "Yeah, your bank card's here." And I said, "Okay, I'll be up. I'll and what I don't know if you know or not. It's a major hassle if you lose your bank card.
Yes,
Uh,
I know.
so it was, woohoo! I
Yay.
didn't lose my bank card. And I went up and picked it up, and she said, "Yeah, my mom watches you on television all the time. So
Oh,
hello, if you happen to be
oh.
watching." um,
Did
and
she say who her?
do what?
Did she at least tell you who her mom was so that you could?
No, no,
Darn.
and I didn't ask.
Oh,
I didn't even think about it. Kind of,
you were worried about your card.
I was really more worried about, yeah, making sure I got my bank card. But I was at a bar watching some guys play music that I used to play with, and uh, went out into the back, outside the back there to smoke a cigar. And I noticed this guy had been looking at me, and the guy followed me out back and came up and asked me,
Uh-oh.
yeah, and just came right up and asked me. He said, "You're American Doofus, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Oh shit," because this is a redneck bar, and I'm like,
Right.
what have I said here
So,
recently that is going to get me punched in the face? And he said, I'm a trucker, and I just happened to be in town, and I just happened to be at this bar, and as soon as you walked in, I was like, "That's American Doofus." And I thought, "Oh
oh,
my gosh."
oh my.
And he said, I love what you do. I love the fact that you don't take sides. You let people talk. You tell, you give the news like it used to be given. Here's the
Yeah.
facts, and you decide on yourself what it means. And can I buy you a beer? And so yeah, we went in, and he bought me a Wee Mac beer. It's a Scottish beer
Right.
by Sun King Brewery in Indiana, and we had a beer and a shot of Fireball. So and then
Well, that's fun.
I was walking Doofus dog um, on the trail that we walk, and we were behind the police department, our local police department, and we were off the trail as she was looking for a place to poop, and
Always a good time to meet a fan.
yeah, and this guy and girl were walking by, and this guy said, "Oh my God, Barry, can I get a picture with you?" And I'm like, okay." And he came over and put his arm around me, and his girlfriend took a picture, and he said, "Man, great to meet you." And I said, "Thanks, nice meeting you too." And they walked on down, and you know, I walked back, and
That's pretty cool.
somebody else asked us to stop and take a picture, but they didn't know me. They wanted a picture of me and Oakley for some reason. So
Well,
yeah,
that
but
you know what? It's a crapshoot be known, and where people come up to you, you don't know whether to admit it's really you or not. Seriously, because you don't know if you're going to be received well, or like you said, it's someone who does.
yeah, and when I was in radio, I did a lot of public appearances. So people in the area knew me, knew what I looked like, and they'd see me at. I worked under a different name. I didn't work under my real name. But they'd see me at the grocery store or Walmart or whatever, and they'd yell out, "Ah!" you know. So that was good, getting recognized. Got into politics, and it wasn't always so good getting recognized. Sometimes you'd be at a gas station, somebody come up and go, "Hey man, I just saw you on TV." I'm like, "How'd you do that?" Well, that was taped. you know.
Imagine if
uh,
you had won, Barry, what it would be like in this day.
Lori, the crazy thing is, so many people thought that just because they voted for me, I must have won. Uh, I'm serious. I'm serious. 4 years after the fact, people thought I was their congressman. They would call me with
Seriously.
problems. Yeah, they'd call me with problems and stuff. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll see what I can do. And I'd call somebody in Washington and say, hey, here's so yeah.
And wrong with
Uh,
America.
that's
They-
that's that's a main thing wrong with America, yeah.
Goal. I'm curious, and you can be as broad or specific as you want, but how is your goal with your channel? With
What's
your
my
voice? What vision or a goal that you're trying to get to? Or
um no, I never have with the channel. Um other than just informing people, and letting them choose whether to listen or not, or to take it seriously or not. We got some major solar activity going on right now. There was a X-class flare that has been released towards Earth, as well as a fairly nothing to sneeze at coronal mass ejection. So we've got some radioactive material coming at Earth from the sun right now. Our magnetic poles
I was just gonna
are
say, do the magnetic
moving.
poles affect that too?
Yeah. And actually, we just got the information on the North Magnetic Pole yesterday, and it is at the same spot it was at last month. It hasn't moved at all, which, depending on who you talk to, that's either a relatively hopeful sign, or it's a sign of impending disaster, because when it does start moving again, it's going to start moving really fast and everything's going to flip. But
Do you
so,
mind me? Do you mind me asking? Go ahead, Barry.
no.
I was going to ask something kind of personal, but do you mind talking about?
Talking about what?
About your cancer? Really? Did you?
No, it is. Yeah, I haven't talked about on this yet, but okay.
Well, you don't have to, but
No, because people, thankfully, there are people that care and people that will want to know. I mentioned that I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016, and until 2021, I didn't have any problem. 2021, it came back, and it's been reoccurring ever since. I believe it's March the 6th. I go in for surgery, and the surgery could entail skin grafts. It's pretty significant stuff. Probably won't you'd be able to be on for a day or two, then, and hopefully
wow.
that stops it.
Well, we sure hope so, Barry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
you're
I do
still
too.
dealing. Yeah.
I'm good. I feel fine. I feel good. I feel fine. It's just that it won't go away. And
Right.
you can only cut out so much. Yeah.
Noticed,
Yeah.
with the health care, have you been getting all the correct help of all the different COVID stuff? I had trouble with getting to see a doctor over a spot on my lip.
The answer is no. It has not been easy. It took a long time to find some place, and just it was Wednesday, just a couple of days ago. It was Wednesday when I finally got the call that yes, there is somebody that will take your insurance, that will do the procedures.
Right.
Because it had been 2 weeks of we can't find anybody we can't find anybody that'll take your insurance. And the whole time it's just like, well, if this is reoccurring, the longer we wait, the more it grows. So it's not beneficial.
Right.
The way the healthcare system is set up, it is not about treatment of patients. It's about money in pockets. And
Isn't that sad?
unfortunately, a lot of systems in the United States, the judicial system, the legal system, the medical system, the real estate system, the banking system, the commerce system, things, none of them are set up for the betterment of the people. And somewhere along the line, we, the people, ceded our power and forgot that we are the strength, and
Right.
not the 600 or 700 people that are in charge in Washington D.C.
But
Just
if
something
we
to think about.
don't even know who they are, if we don't even know who they are,
Who
then they
is
are in power. And some people that
who the people
represent
in
us,
power are?
it's going to be the
You
people that are making the law.
if people really wanted to know, there are enough intelligent people that it can be figured out who's actually pulling the strings. I
Yes.
just got back on here. I don't want to get taken down. So we're not going to talk any conspiracy theories. We're not going to come close to mentioning, anything about
No.
the government's great. We love the government. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah,
Love you.
yeah. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early
By the
light?
night. God
Yeah.
bless America.
Hey, yes.
But no, what I wanted to say is that though, what we've gone through has exposed some cracks in our medical system.
Oh,
Who have
yeah.
troubles
Oh,
like
yeah.
cancer, whatever, are having a lot of trouble getting med we got.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
together.
The idea of they had to vote to cap insulin, a life-saving drug. They had to vote to cap the cost of that because of greed.
Right. And it's a
Again,
life saving. Oh yeah, get that up there. I
have you read
started
any of
reading
it yet?
reading it. Yes, I
Have
did.
you have you started reading it? Good.
Yes. And I liked it because a little bit of insight into you by reading your story. Be
You think?
facts and figures and okay, but it was really get into a story,
Yeah, it's
but it
a
gave me
it's a it's a novel, but it's a novel that has facts in it.
right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Well, thank
What
you.
I've read so far.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
What
glad.
inspired you to start writing books?
Uh I actually wrote my first unpublished book when I was a sophomore in high school. And I'm not sure why, but writing has always been a big deal to me. And it's always come relatively easy to me. Um, I've written 13 screenplays. Um,
Oh, really?
I had Yeah, in 2008 I had one that was just about to get produced by an Academy Award winning producer. It, and the economy tanked. And the economy tanked in Hollywood just like it tanked everywhere else. And once a project goes away, it's really tough to get anybody to pay attention again because there's always so
Have you ever
much
been in a movie?
coming. Have I what?
Ever been in a movie or anything? Or
Have I
been in a
been in a
production or
movie?
anything?
Yes. Yes, I was in a
Come on.
couple. I was in a couple of movies, and I did TV
Cheech and Chong?
commercials. No, actually, sports movies. I
Oh,
was in. I was a. I was just an extra. I auditioned to be one of the players in a movie called Blue Chips, um, and it was kind of loosely based on Bobby Knight, the basketball coach at IU. Uh,
I know that name. Yeah.
yeah, and I was also in a movie called Eight Men Out. That was filmed in Indianapolis at the old Bush Stadium out there. I was a baseball player in that, and I've been in some. I was in some commercials and some um, industrial films.
Look at you go.
Yeah,
Go, Barry.
and the other night, I heard somebody say, "Well, I was in law enforcement." And they got pressed a little bit and they said, well, I shot a training film. And when I heard that, I thought, well, I'm an astronaut because I was in a NASA industrial film. So,
I was
if,
in a movie.
if that's how we're gauging things, you were in a movie.
I was. Now I can't remember the name of it. It was so boring. But I was a little ex. This is when I was really young,
Oh
and
yeah,
I got I got to
they are.
meet. Go ahead, Casey
It's
Affleck.
boring. It's really boring. You sit around forever and ever, and then they do the shot, and then you got to sit around again, and then they recreate the shot with different lighting and different camera angles, and it's boring and time consuming. But it's great at
It's
the
a
end
job.
when all of a sudden you're on this big giant screen.
Oh yeah, it's a job.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. What kind of a teenager were you? Were you the nerdy type or the hip? Because I see you hippie right now. So what were you?
Um, I was one of those that um, I didn't I didn't label. I didn't accept labels and I didn't give labels. I was everything. I was a jock. I was in the honor society. I was a hippie. I played music, and also I was the first person to rush for 1,000 yards in football in one season in a 10-game season. You know, um, and plus I baled hay and nutted hogs, and so I related to
Along so
everybody.
well.
Huh?
That's probably why we get along so well, because kind of the same way you could almost like that you could fit in with the skaters, you could fit in with the jocks, you go because you're not a label.
Yeah. Yeah. That I mean I got my nickname was all. For it was short for all American. Um because I didn't smoke, I didn't, because I was a jock. Um, I didn't do the major partying thing in high school. Um, I made up for it in college, but in high school it was sports and
You
class and you know
okay? Now
serious
tell me
stuff.
about college. So you went
Tell
to
you about
college.
college, huh?
Yeah, you went to.
Yeah, I went to college. I had a football scholarship to Wabash College, which is called the Harvard of the Midwest, and the third day I was there, it, we were practicing without pads, and it was supposed to be a walkthrough situation to learn the offense. And this guy, big guy, blasted me, and I was totally unprepared for it, and ended up breaking my back, and
Oh,
couldn't.
wow.
Yeah, and I couldn't play anymore. So I transferred to a different school because um, I couldn't stay at Wabash because I was on athletic scholarship, and I transferred to a school where my academic scholarships paid for everything.
What did you do
I
after
was
that?
blessed.
What did you do
Uh,
after college? Did you work a job?
I immediate well, I worked all the way through college. Uh, my freshman year in college, I was a disc jockey I was a disc jockey in 1978 at the Roberts Hotel in Muncie, Indiana, and I was only 18 years old. But nobody ever asked, you know. Um, they just hired me, and I did that. I worked all the way through college. I graduated college. The first thing I taught high school and coached football for 4 years, right out of high
With
school.
the football stuff.
Huh?
I never would have guessed you with the football stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. I
I
mean,
think of
do
football as these
what?
big guys, that you think of big football guys.
Yeah, and the majority of them are. Um, the way you play football when you're my size is you are faster than everybody. and and I was. I ran a 9,800 yard dash. I ran a 4.45 40 yard dash, and this is in this is on cinder. This isn't like it, the combine or something. This is running on people probably don't even know what I'm talking about when I talk about cinder tracks, but they were tracks that were just made up of ground up black cinder.
Oh,
And if you fell, you were just ate up, and I ran hurdles, and occasionally when you're trying to go really fast, you clip a hurdle. And so yeah, there were times that after a meet, I'd have to sit for an hour and a half um, while the medical people picked out little pieces of cinder rock.
I think everybody really liked your friend. Was it Melvis
Mel,
that came in?
okay. Like I said, I taught high school for like 4 years, and I was making like 4 to 5 times the money on a Friday or a Saturday night disc jockeying than I made all week teaching. So, which is a sad statement on our society that entertainment is more highly prized and better paid than education. And it's still the same way, only it's even worse. Anyway, so I started in the music business full time, and playing in a band, and then disc jockeying, and then doing side jobs through the day and stuff like that. And that's
What
where that's where Mel and
Go
I
ahead.
first that's where Mel and I first crossed paths. So it was probably 1984, 1985 that we first met.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of music do you guys play?
Uh, absolute fabulous music.
Well, of course, it's got to be or something. Come on now.
um, I wrote all the lyrics to all the originals. We've got, I don't know, probably 15 originals. Out of those, 10 of them are solid. Out of those 10, I think 3 to 4 of them would be hits today. I think we wrote timeless stuff, and we may find out. Just a
There's a
little
lot
tease here.
of people that would like to see you guys get together and start playing and like something.
I don't know if that will ever happen. Honestly,
Oh.
the four of us getting together and actually playing. However, we are in talks, and in case Mel or Joe are listening right now, we are in talks to record, to go in the studio and to record half a dozen to 8, 6, 8, 10 songs, somewhere in that range. So while you probably won't see us as a band playing together again because of obligations, I'm not saying it won't happen, but you might have an album coming out. We might have an album coming out. We might go in and
somebody asked,
yeah.
Is there a link or a place that people can go to watch your everything recorded that people can?
I've got a couple of discs. Again, I came back in 2016 from Florida, and a lot of stuff was gone, and what wasn't gone was soon gone. So all my videos, all my recordings, all that's gone.
Divorce sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And not in a good way. There are things that suck in a good way, and there are things that suck. And divorce sucks.
Yes, it does.
But I mean, I wrote the words, so I know the words. I wrote part of the music, so I know them. You can take away our recordings, but it doesn't mean we can't put it back together and make it even better. And we don't have to worry about music companies or producers or record execs now.
They can take away your written words, but they can never take the song out of your heart.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I've got the words. They're copywritten. They're ours. So we may release, and I've got bad quality copies, demos, if you will, and I've played some of it, and I'll play more, because that's something I can do that, YouTube. It's mine. We did this. It's not copywritten, so YouTube can't stop it. And we might just release a few songs. Our songs were. I'll tell you 2 of our titles, okay, and I'll let you tell me what you think. I'll tell you 3 of them, because these would be the first. These will be the first 3 released if we do it. One of them is "Can't Buy Me Love."
Okay.
Are you familiar with that? Well, that's the Beatles version of it.
Okay.
We did it more like, "I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it make you feel all right." We funked it up. "I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love." Instead of the way you sang it,
right,
which is the Beatles stuff. So our version is real heavy on the bass.
yeah.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, dunk, and it's a funky groove, not a pop. It's different, but it is. The reason we would release it is because everybody would go, "Oh, it's a Beatles song," and listen to it and go, oh, that's not the Beatles at all.
This is better
Because
than the
it,
Beatles.
it's not it's not a cover. It's not a cover. It's a complete total remake, except for Sir Paul McCartney's lyrics, which may get us in trouble. But hey, if that's going to draw some attention if Paul McCartney, says don't do the song,
Yeah.
that would draw some attention. I think he would, and I'm going to contact him ahead of time, or at least attempt to. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm going to attempt to let him know we're going to do it, and hopefully get his permission, because that would be very cool too. So that's that's the first song. The second song is called "Sex on the Phone."
I like it.
Have you ever laid in a bed alone, burning with desire, thinking so hard about your baby, set your pants on fire?
Woo.
Have you ever had to live a distance from what you want to own? And could you have the imagination to have sex on the phone? I can almost taste you, even though I'm alone. I cannot believe we just had sex on the phone.
Not right now.
And then the third one is Frazzled. And that's about sexual angst.
That one.
Huh?
Let's hear the words to that one.
Okay, some of the words to that one. Tarzan had Jane. Tarzan had Jane. Mickey had Minnie. It's been a while since I've had any. Superman had Lois. Dale had Roy. I don't mean to bitch, but I'm a lonely boy. I'm frazzled, frazzled, frazzled.
Oh, that's gonna go viral.
So yeah. So if we look for those, if we do anything, and I kind of have a feeling we might.
Playlist.
You would put them on your playlist? Would you? Cool.
Yep.
That's
boy.
That's the hope, is we put them out on iTunes and Spotify, and people put them on their playlist. And if we're going to travel the country and do live streams, I got to have money to fund it. So
yeah, you do.
So yeah, we'll put these out, and we'll make enough money that we'll take our trip on Route 66, and we'll grow everything from that. And by the time we get to the beach,
what are we gonna? Are we gonna have a traveling grow center too?
Who knows? Well, we couldn't do that because it's not legal in Texas. Otherwise, we could. If it was just New Mexico, Arizona, and California, we could have a traveling grow center.
We could. The bus would have like what? No, I'm just teasing.
Do what?
Have smoke coming out the window.
Did you ever watch any Cheech and Chong movies, Lori?
Some, yes.
Okay. The one where Cheech thinks Chong's driving too fast, and they're actually parked in the median, and the car's full of smoke.
That would be us. And then we can ask.
Do what?
And then we could try to order a burger at the It takes us half an hour to order.
Never going to live that down. I could go to a kiosk 100 more times and do it exactly right, but that night, no.
Technology is my downfall.
Yes. So we got to figure this out. Okay. How can I get on your channel so the next time? But I'll figure it out, because I'm going to have a new phone online here soon. I'm just
Oh,
not
good.
sure if I'm gonna have a phone that's just dedicated to the channel, or I'm just gonna have a brand new phone and everybody's gonna have to learn a new number. But we'll get it worked out to where I can have the late, because all it is this phone. I don't have the latest YouTube on this phone.
Oh,
So that's why, I couldn't get on. I don't understand why we can't get your video on here though.
I got to
But
figure it out. I'm not sure
yeah,
why
yeah.
either. Let me go to my
It
video.
it may be a safety mechanism, that your crew put on, um, that, just in the past that just not aware of. Who knows?
It might be something. What I'm curious, what would be the person that you would that to get that dream interview with?
The person for me to have a dream interview with. Wow.
Hmm.
Gosh, I've been blessed because, um, being in the radio business, and as well as being in print media, um, and in this, I've got to interview a lot of people. The only living president that I haven't met is Donald Trump. I
Really?
campaigned, yeah, I campaigned with Jimmy Carter. I campaigned extensively with Bill Clinton. Um, and I met George W. I didn't meet his dad. Um, and I met Barack, and I met Biden, met Hillary. The only
When
one I
did you meet?
haven't.
Oh, did you meet Biden when he was president?
No, I met Biden when he was a senator. Before he was vice president, I met Biden back when he was a senator. He came. He was at a fundraiser I was at. The only thing I remember is he had dander. His suit coat was like it was either dandruff or dust or something. But the shoulders of his suit coat, I wanted to just brush him off. Yeah, but I've got to meet Henny Stoyer. Most of the I met Carrie. She's Evan by when Evan was senator in Indiana. When Evan was Indiana senator, he introduced me to a whole bunch of people out there, and um,
Max
our
Max Flower down in the chat. I saw it. She said dream
I can't see that.
interview.
Do what?
Dream interview isn't Corinne. Interview wasn't Corinne. You're gonna get in trouble there.
I am looking forward to interviewing Corinne.
Forward to
That's
listening.
coming up this coming Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know if I'd necessarily consider that a dream interview, um, but I think it'll be an incredibly interesting one.
Oh, that will
I'm
be.
trying to think. Gosh, I guess it would. My dream interview would probably be Mick Jagger. But at the same time, I know so much about him, and you know, um, in 1989, all the way back in the 1900s, in 1989, I drove, uh, and a friend of mine rode along with me. We drove from uh, basically Indianapolis, Indiana, to Detroit, Michigan. Actually to Pontiac, Michigan, north of Detroit, to a place called the Pontiac Silverdome. And because the Rolling Stones were playing their farewell tour, and I wanted to see the Stones before they were done. That was 1989, and I've seen them 6 times since then, since I saw them on their farewell tour. Um, so I guess Jagger would probably be maybe Robert Plant, lead singer from Zeppelin. Um,
You've seen a lot of musicians play, haven't you? A lot of bands.
oh my gosh, yeah, Yeah. You know, I saw Elvis.
I'm always jealous of DUFUS because I I was raised very strict, rock music or anything. So I didn't get to experience that. And I've heard so people who are able to do that, I'm always in amazement. It sounds so fun.
I Greg Allman, Reverend Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, Eddie Money, um, David Coverdale from Whitesnake, Stevie Nicks,
Really?
but Stevie, that all the others were like partied. I partied with Stevie was different. This Stevie's thing is different. But yeah.
You guys went bull place. What was it? The
Do
bull
what?
something. You and your buddy went to that bull fun?
Bull Island.
Bull
The
Island.
Bull Island Festival. I didn't go. He went.
Oh, I thought you
I
went.
No, I didn't go. I just interviewed him about it, and then we kind of got into some of the things that we had done, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Get a couple beers in and get some good stories about you.
um, there are some stories. Yeah, there might be. there might be.
A couple.
I this is this is I don't know. I look at, when I sit down and have a conversation like this and I look back at all the stuff I've got to do, um, it's like, wow. Um, but most of the time I'm like, gosh, I haven't done anything. I got to accomplish something because I haven't done anything, which sounds crazy. I started playing music with two brothers in the little town that I was in. The three of us started playing in the younger brother's bedroom.
Oh wow.
First song we ever did was "Already Gone" by the Eagles. Um, one of the brothers on electric guitar, one of the brothers on acoustic, and me playing bass. Um, and we did "Already Gone," and that the younger of the two brothers last Saturday called me and said, "Hey, we need a bass player tonight. Can you come?" And so one piece came together last Saturday night, and it was great.
You guys
My gosh, it was great
actually
to.
played?
Yeah, we actually played, and it was so great to be able to play loud again. When he asked me, I said, "I can come, but all I've got is this little PV practice amp. I don't have a rig anymore." And he, came back and said, "Hey, no problem. We'll run you directly through the board and through the PA system." So it was loud and it was fat and it felt good. But I started playing with him and his brother right before the end of high school, and his brother went to college, and I went to college, but I got my back broken, so I came back, and we played a little bit, and he wanted to play things that I didn't want to play, and I went to Connorsville, Indiana, to a music store down there. It was called Denny's Drums, and I met a drummer and a guitar player down there, and I went. They invited me to come and jam with them. I jammed with them like 3 times. They were so much better than me; it wasn't even freaking funny. But I'm serious, they were. But we got along great. And then one of them got a call to go join a band. So we didn't play together anymore. Played together like 3 times in 2 weeks. And the band he got a call to join was the Greg Allman Band. And it was Danny and Dave Toller, the Toller brothers from Connorsville, Indiana. So I've got to jam with, Mellencamp. I got to jam with some incredible people.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I can't hear
I bet
you.
it felt good to get.
Do what?
I bet it felt really good to get back and just start back and playing the music again, because music
you
is
haven't.
something that really speaks
Yeah.
to people.
And I here lately I've been playing by myself, 3 or 4 nights a week. I'll get out and I'll go over the the blues patterns. I'll go over the triads. I'll go, I'll play the licks, and then I'll noodle for a while and just jam, but it's not,
Noodle.
yeah, it's, just do, you're not really playing
Oh,
anything. You're just, making noise,
right.
hoping something
Stairway to
magical
Heaven's
comes
the
out.
one all the guys play. That's the one everybody.
Stairway to Heaven is banned in all music stores. That is the you cannot go into a music store and play Stairway to Heaven.
Really?
It's taboo. I'm not sure why, but
I'm
do
curious
what?
if you would ever run for office again.
If I would ever run for office again, I got an email about that, because the congressperson in this area, Sparts, she's retiring, and she was going to run for Senate, and the congressional seat was going to be open, and they wanted a name. That's a big thing in politics, is name recognition. And I've been on the ballot a lot, so people have seen my name, even if they have never met me.
As we
It would.
can tell from what you said earlier, with people not even realizing you hadn't even got in. I mean, it is about your name.
Yeah.
People just did, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. If I ever did, I would probably do it as an independent. And you'd have to have so many volunteers and so much money to be viable.
That's hard.
But I think if one did it in one cycle, 2 years later, the next time the congressional cycle comes up, there would be hundreds trying it. So
people back home. Oh,
no, go ahead.
I know people in Indiana were running, and some of the people that I knew were like, nope, I'm not supporting them because they're running. They don't have a chance, and so they just weren't even going to vote for them because
Right.
so many kids in Indiana.
Yeah. I'm one of the only Democrats in a Republican district to ever get over 100,000 votes in an election. And I legitimately, I say I, but it wasn't I, it was we. We legitimately scared Mike Pence. We got 41% of the vote. He had 49%. The Libertarian had the remaining percentage. If 6,000 people would have voted the other way, I'd have been the congressman. Now, if that would have happened, Mike Pence would have never been vice president. If Mike Pence isn't vice president, whoever Trump's vice president is, does he sanction the elections, or does he carry out the, so I shouldn't, I didn't,
only you
the whole thing
had
comes
won that
back to me.
election.
Yeah.
only
If
you'd
I'd
won
have
the
won that
election,
election,
everything would have changed.
everything would have played out different. Yeah.
So it's all Barry's fault.
And in that election, we got 6,000 votes away. We lost by 11,000 votes. Okay, just to be clear, 6,000 change. 6,000 people vote the other way. That changes 11,000 to 5,000. He has 5,000. I have 6,000. I win the election. We spent and we said we spent $50,000. Okay. A lot of that was payment in kind, professionals donating their services, especially attorneys and accountants and computer geniuses. A lot of people donated their services. So we spent $50,000 in that campaign. He spent $1.5 million and beat us by 8 points.
What I was going to ask you, what it's like to be a Democrat in a mostly Republican.
It is challenging. It is at times disheartening. But yet at the same time, it is, it's worth it. It's worth it to say what you think needs to be said, even if you lose. And it takes a special kind of person, I think, to be able to do that.
Right.
Because you can't care what people think about you. You can't get caught up in people disassociating with you because of your views. You have to believe that what you are saying needs to be said and needs to be heard. And it's imperative that change be made, because you are putting yourself on the line economically. Because if you're a Democrat in a Republican state, a predominant Democrat, you're not going to get a job. Everybody's going to know you. And if they don't know you, as soon as they run an online, if you Google my name, there are millions of hits that come up, in the Library of Congress, in the National Archives, a founding father of the modern progressive movement, blah, 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 blah. So you have to be
wait. Not get
what?
a job? You mean a job?
Yeah, I mean a professional job. I can go to Wendy's
Because you're
and
a
they don't give a
Democrat?
crap. Oh yeah, I challenged Mike Pence. Okay. Yeah,
I'd give you an award
yeah.
for that, but
Well, thank you. A lot of people felt that way, but you got to figure the people that control the money are the people that control the corporations are Republicans, and they are tuned in Republicans. They know who is for them and who's against them. And if you're a Democrat, you're against them,
oh yeah.
So yeah,
I have
they
been
don't like
guilty of that. I have been guilty
what.
of falling into that. I will admit it. If you're a
Yeah,
Democrat, you're automatically bad.
right.
I don't want nothing to do. I can admit that I fell into that.
No,
and
hey,
it is
we
or
we're
encouraged.
programmed. We're programmed to be that way. You know, we're programmed through our areas, our schools, our families, our media, um, and it's hard. Uh, I ran as the way I framed it. I ran as an independent on the Democratic ticket, just like Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I struggled with, and I kind of want your opinion on this. I had a friend that was running, and they have new rules now in our Indiana State House. I'm sorry, but in the party for the GOP, they've made up different rules. You have to do this to actually run under the
Oh, yeah.
Republican ticket,
They
and
right.
the
They
Democrats do the same. But so anyway, you have to get permission from them to
Mhm,
say that you're a good Republican in order to run.
mhm,
And was a grassroots, somebody that was not establishment, he wouldn't
mhm,
give it to. So I went to video the proceed before the committee, and it was 6 hours long, Barry, and it was Democrats too. They took out all these wonderful that the Democrats took out a black woman who I
yeah.
talked to, and I may not
It
agree politics, but I was like,
you see, they try to control. They want to control who the players are because to them it's all a big game, and to even get on a ballot, um, you know there's some very powerful people you have to appease just to get on a ballot in most situations. I was lucky enough that I was in a position where I I'd already given them the FU. Uh, I ran here was how we did it, Lori. I ran in 2006 to set up to run in 2008. Okay. We came so much closer in 2006 than anybody ever expected us to, that we should have won in 2008. I went to Washington, D.C. for the funds to run in 2008. We want Mike Pence as the congressman there. It's better to have the devil we know than the devil we don't. They knew I wasn't going to play the game. I ran again in 2010 just to give a middle finger to the Democratic Party. I spent $3.42. I went to one event the entire election cycle. They came back to me and asked me to run again. It's it's not at all like people think it is. Political
I
parties.
I realized that it's like a con on the American people before you ever, because
I
what they're
missed the
doing to
last part.
me before we box, you know, they take away your choice before you.
Yeah. Yeah. They make yeah, they do. They take away your choice before you ever have a chance to make it. But that's not, they won't tell you that. Um, they make the choice for you in most
Yes,
situations.
and like you said, a lot of people vote. It seems anyway. A lot of people seem to be voting, uh, whether I like this guy or not. He's not. This person isn't as bad as that we don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't realize that all these wonderful are backed by big money, and that means that they're being public.
Yeah, I just said a few minutes ago, I went to Washington, D.C. to get the funding for the campaign in 2008. And I was told by someone that was a congressman that led the DCCC back then, that is now a senator from Maryland. You might be able to figure out who he is. I was told that I went out there and I said, I need $250,000 to win this race. And they said, if you can bring us $250,000, we'll give you $250,000 to win the race. And I said, if I had $250,000, I wouldn't need your $250,000.
Right.
He said, every time Mike Pence makes an asinine statement about abortion, we raise so much money that we cannot afford not to have him in Congress.
Wow.
This is a Democrat. Telling me that. I left. I was so mad. It was like the blinders had come off. Oh, I see how this works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually.
This was all supposed to be on your channel. You understand that?
I know.
I'm sorry.
Me if we're gonna get in trouble, because I don't want to, mess up your
channel. No, we are going to stop pretty quick because I want to save some stuff to talk about on your channel when we get this figured out tech wise. All right.
It's
actually
interesting to talk about politics back home, though, because we might know some of them.
Oh, I'm sure we know some of the same people.
Yeah.
You know Joe Donnelly? Joe's a good friend of mine.
No, but I know the name at least. He
was our senator. That's probably where you know the name, Senator Joe Donnelly.
Yeah, I knew the name. I was one of those that paid attention to politics. I still don't understand.
He's from your area. He's from the north part of Indiana.
You know what I started doing, Barry? In the meetings, just hitting all the different meetings, county, city, whatever. And I found out that if you ask council, city council, whatever, you ask these people to go to coffee, they will.
They'll talk to you. Yeah.
And just give you a little rundown and I've done that before and catch their ear now and then after a meeting, or and that's happening in our country. Is people need to start paying attention to their local politics and getting to know that when those politicians go out into the community, they're responsible to those people. Response back.
Yeah.
If not, they do what they want.
That's exactly right. If you're not paying attention to them, they're going to do things. And for too long, we did not pay attention. It's almost 9:00. You want to see if anybody, check chat and see if anybody has any questions here for either one of us. And we'll kind of wrap this up and do it again. Huh?
Oh, I was just reading something. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. People being silly.
Yes, they're being 10 years. I'm sorry that you've had that experience in Indiana, but I can, being a Democrat, but now I will tell you, DC is quite an experience too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Oh, I love DC. Washington DC is always a top 3 choice if somebody says, "Hey, let's go somewhere." I'm always like, "Let's go to Washington DC." Um, yeah, I love being DC.
Just being in more democratic places or more liberal places where I stick out like a sore thumb.
Do you feel like you
It
stick
was
out like a sore thumb in liberal places?
um. Let
Or
me
do you
just say I'm
honestly?
severely outnumbered. How's that?
Okay.
Severely
All right.
outnumbered. Yeah, yeah. In
Yeah,
my yeah.
but you're I imagine you're never threatened. You're
No.
never, I mean, you're more accepted than a liberal person in a conservative place might be.
Yes. It's actually I love it myself. I don't mind. But I just like to learn about people and stuff. It actually was kind of a shock to my Sina from DC. There, I was literally
Yeah.
I hit Trump country, and I was like having a culture. Seriously, I just came from DC, besting the J6 vigil and doing all that stuff, and I mean I was in murderalism,
You know,
and then
you
I,
you
I
say
come from
Trump country, and people that live in large urban areas, um, they don't understand that Trump country is a real thing, and it's still a real thing.
like for
It's
real. It is
it
go up
hasn't gone
to
away,
go up
you
to
know?
Michigan, it gets even more. Go up into Michigan
Yeah.
in the country, like for real, it's like Trump flags everywhere, and I mean like the Trump flags fucked by maybe I can't say it, but FJBs and
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Trump country.
So did anybody have any questions or
Okay,
I can't see the chat
the chat. Okay,
for
okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were reading it.
no,
No, I
I'm
don't
just
see
asking it. Okay.
questions.
All right.
They're chit chatting
All right.
in there.
Cool. All right.
But hey, I
Well,
appreciate it, Bill. I will get off and let you do your show. Oh,
oh, I'm not doing the show tonight.
I thought you were doing the show
No.
tonight.
No.
Oh, fun.
I'm going to be on tomorrow night, hopefully. Hopefully I'm going to have a panel and let ladies talk. Um,
Oh, is that tomorrow?
yeah. Yeah. So
Who else
if
gonna be on?
I'm hoping that baby, Lisa Hurley, um, stunning or
Say
cunning,
it right, Mary.
um, and
Cunning stunt.
Georgia. Yes, yes. So if you want to come
Oh,
on that, and it's just going to be, I'm just going to host. I'm just going to host it. I'm going to put out a topic and just let you ladies talk back and forth.
I saw you get a little bit of heat about letting the ladies or get up or something. I think that's wonderful because you have some really, really strong finding their voices, and I love listening to GA and kind of some of the people that you bring up. It's nice to hear people finding their voices.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. It's yeah. And plus, um, eh, Stunning's voice. First time I heard her voice, it was like, oh my gosh, she's got this really sultry, sexy
X,
voice, and oh, mercy. Anyway,
it is.
um, huh?
It, it's a very sexy voice. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, she does, and so yeah, and there are so many.
Both of them.
Well, there are so many strong female characters that have emerged. Uh, like I said, I'd like to have Baby and Lisa Hurley. We had it all set up before. I had to take hiatus. So hopefully we can, if we can't get it all together tomorrow, then we'll do it next Sunday. But there are so many strong um, female characters. Um, I mean, G. Abbott is another one that I really enjoy having on, who has a very powerful voice.
Yes.
I enjoy having Rooster on.
Hmm.
I mean, they're just, there are a lot of strong
There's
females, and too many of the panels, and too many of the, channels that are based solely on chats. They get male dominated, whether it's intentional or not. I'm saying it's not. They get male dominated. So I'm going to do one once a week that, um, only the women are going to be talking. And I'll throw a topic out there. I'll interrupt and say, hey, if people are talking over each other. Otherwise, I'm just going to host and learn.
I'm going to tell you what I've noticed for quite a while.
Okay.
The women are rising, and they are the ones that are going to the school board meetings. They are the ones that are getting them. We'll see. Women are the ones, and it's not these. I'm not talking about the grandmas. Women my age, women a little older, who retired, whatever it is, and they're seeing things like whatever it is, and they are finding their voice out and having their voices heard and trying to make change. And I don't think that the changes that will be made are going to be male dominated like they use their voices. And it's a change for the youth, some men, but we
I'm
are coming into our own.
I'm going to give you a little secret here. Uh, Almost any time significant change has been made, it's been female dominated and female led. From prohibition to women's suffrage, uh, to women's rights, to the BLM. The BLM were Black women, um, that organized and put that together. If anything, if there is ever significant change, I agree with you. It will be because of women.
And that is where some of, I'll admit, coming from that more conservative, that is something that is sometimes difficult to deal with, and you would understand that in Republican in Indiana, to bring of how they want, where they want to
Yeah.
put that hierarchy. I always say I come in with, I don't feel like I'm the little woman. I feel I'm just as maybe actually more important than you. So now
and
let's
and
talk.
that doesn't play well always in Indiana,
It does
you
not
know.
play well with politicians. I can tell you that, or
Yeah,
with any. And I've
yeah,
noticed some of these male dominated groups that are wanting to make change, realizing that they're doing it on their own, and they're not
mm,
including the women, and that's where messing up, because the left has learned. I see a difference on how the left and the right learn that it's okay for women to take the lead, and you can actually
absolutely.
follow them. You can
You know.
follow
Now,
need be.
yeah, yeah. I was going to make a comment, but it's best I don't. I was going to make a
You're just coming back, baby.
yeah. Just coming back. Let's not blow it. All right, Lori. Thank you for
Love you,
having me on
Chris.
here. Love you. Um, let's You want to try this again sometime this week?
Yes,
If I get
let's
this,
work on.
if I get this new phone set up, because in order to be on your channel, I've got to do it over my phone, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I'd really like to have I'd like to be able to see you. I miss looking at you. It's
I
cool
know.
talking. It's cool talking, but we got this technology. Let's get it working. All right.
Yep. We'll figure it out, and then we'll get back together. Because
Yeah.
I always enjoy talking with you, Barry. But it's nice
Yeah.
to know a little more about you.
Yeah. We'll save some stuff for the next time.
Okay.
All
Love you,
right.
Barry.
Love
We'll see you
you.
later.
Thank
Bye
you. Bye
bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all for clicking on here, tuning in. Um, Again, this was supposed to be on Lori's channel. We couldn't get it worked out. Thank you all for popping over here. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Um, you know, the you're why we do this, and you're great. And I'm honored and humbled that people watch, and I sincerely thank you. Um, Again, I'm gonna touch base through Discord, through direct messages, and see if we can't maybe 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, maybe 9. I don't know. We'll see if we can't get the panel, the first panel of ladies up to talk, and I hope we can. If not, I will be on here Monday night at 9 o'clock, as always. Chris is going to be on here, our security and terrorism expert, and we're just going to have a conversation about kind of the state of the world. Um, he's involved with some stuff that we probably won't be able to talk about, but just as far as where everything's at geopolitically, we haven't had that conversation in a while, and we do it every couple of months. So that'll happen Monday night. Tuesday night, we're going to have GA and the stunning one on. Wednesday, it is our interview with Corinne. And then Thursday, I'm working on something. I don't know if for sure, but we're coming back guns a-blazing starting Monday night. And hopefully you'll be with us. And I thank you for being here tonight. Namaste. Shalom. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you in the name of the Most High, His Son, Christ Jesus, and the power of the Holy Spirit. And positive vibrations. Much love and peace. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. I love y'all. And that's for real. See you next